Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your host, Seiji Samurai here, and welcome back to the channel. Guys, thank y'all so much for your last support in the last video. You guys were truly amazing with it, and I just like to thank y'all for your support. I know I'm thankful a bunch of times, but I'm always honest about it. I am really thankful. But besides that, guys, I know you guys are not here for me to go ahead and give gratitude. You guys are here for me to deliver you another part to what if Naruto had Zeref's powers. Hope you guys do enjoy. I'm already excited for this part, considering the fact that I'm actually gonna be able to complete this one, unlike the last time I made it, because you guys know this what if used to be already on this channel, and then I just didn't really like it, and yeah. But this time I'm doing it better, so yeah, I'm honestly happy to go through with it. So hopefully you guys will enjoy. Hopefully you guys enjoy this part 5 of it. And besides all that, let me go ahead and stop talking about all this, and let's just begin, shall we? So, let's get started.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do?
Alright guys, you guys already know the drill. Let's go ahead and begin this what if. Thank you all so much for your support. And, well, it's time. So we now start off where we see Naruto just calmly looking at Orochimaru. So then, shall we begin to discuss, Naruto would say, as Orochimaru was sweating. I'm sorry, but I have quite a busy schedule right now and I don't have time to deal with you, he would say, as he looks at Naruto. At this, Naruto continues looking at him with no emotions at all, just calmly eating his apple. At this, Orochimaru would actually feel, quite annoyed, so he decided that it was better off to just, knock out Naruto and just be done with it, as he decides to go ahead and throw a Senbon needle. At this, as soon as he shoots it out though, a small bit of darkness would then suddenly appear as it deflects the attack. That won't work on me, Naruto would say, as he goes ahead and continues eating the apple until eventually it was done. At this, Orochimaru would be surprised. What was that? Wait, does this kid have a Kekken Genkai? Orochimaru would think, as he's beginning to actually take interest in what Naruto has to say now. Alright, I believe you have gotten my attention. Now what would you like to discuss? Orochimaru would say to this seemingly abnormal young boy. At this, Naruto would internally calmly jump down from the tree branch, as he would then approach Orochimaru. I'd like to make an agreement. At this, Orochimaru would look at Naruto with narrowed eyes, as this is where we're now going to move forward. Back with Sasuke and Sakura, we will see them currently facing off against the Sound Ninja, as Sasuke was having a little bit of trouble. He didn't expect these guys to actually be that strong. After all, he was a prodigy and everything, but these guys were way much more tougher. Plus, their teamwork was way better than Team 7's. How much of a disappointment can you even get? Said Dosu as he looks at Sasuke. He came here expecting a ginormous fight against Sasuke Uchiha, but this was semi a letdown. After all, Orochimaru had an interest in this boy, and he told them to test him. But this was just sad. To think the Uchiha clan would fall so low, Dosu would say. This underhanded comment would spike rage into Sasuke, causing him and forcing him to lock his second Tomoe Sharingan. Don't you dare talk trash about the Uchiha clan. Bursting with speeds that Sasuke did not have previously, he would actually end up speed blitzing Dosu as he attempts to land a very powerful kick directly into his head, only for Dosu to actually lift up his hand and suddenly release a bunch of sound, causing Sasuke's attack to waver as he clutches his ears. Damn it! Sasuke would grunt out as he goes ahead and falls down to his knees, while Dosu ends up looking at him with complete disgust. Like I said, so much for the famed Uchiha clan, Dosu would say. I commend you for the work that you've done on my teammates, but I believe that's far enough. The voice of Naruto would then be heard as Dosu as well as the rest of them would turn to his direction. Sakura, seeing Naruto, would actually line up as she was happy because now that Naruto's here, these guys are obviously screwed. Although Sakura does not like to admit it, Naruto is stronger than Sasuke, so of course they're going to be good here. At this, Dosu will look at him as he then says, so what, you're that weakling's teammate? Dosu would say as he begins to mock Naruto. At this, Naruto goes ahead and just doesn't even do anything, until suddenly he would then vanish in a blink of darkness as he appears right between the sound team. Dosu, as well as the rest of his team, say nothing, as Naruto would calmly pick up Sasuke and begin to walk back into Sakura. At this, all the members of Team Dosu would then feel a chill go down their spine. As the way of Naruto just walking past them, it felt as if they were insignificant, as if Naruto was someone who was beyond them, as if he was someone who was beyond a higher realm, a plane of existence than they were. At this, they didn't understand the feeling that Naruto was emitting, but it was so disturbing that their senses were screaming at them to run, to hide, to get everything far away from this monster of a human being, if they can even call him that. After returning Sasuke back to Sakura, Naruto would then turn to them. Well then, you can go. You completed your task, right? At this, Dosu will go ahead and, have a cold sweat drop as he nods his head. Yes, we will leave. However, this is when Naruto wouldn't stop. Actually, before you go, give me your scroll. At this, Dosu will look at Naruto surprised. However, this is when one of his teammates would then, begin to walk over, the one who has, those small little, air cannons in his arms, as he feeling a little bit bold and say, and who exactly are you to... However, he would then stop, as this is when Naruto begins to emit multiple amounts of bloodlust on the man. I wasn't asking. I was ordering. You're going to give me your scroll. The way that Naruto said it, which was completely blunt and hold no signs of empathy or any emotions at all, it literally just told the team members of Dosu that it's either you give it to me or I take it by force. And by force, I don't mean like he's just going to beat them up. I mean that he's legit going to end their lives right here. The members of Team Dosu getting the sign of it would instantly begin to panic as Dosu would drop the scroll. Here, please, just let us live, he would say. And this Naruto says nothing to him as he walks over. As Dosu actually, begins to back away, thinking that Naruto was going to slaughter him, only for Naruto to pick up his scroll. You may leave now. You did your job, right? At this, Dosu would nod his head slowly until finally the rest of his team then runs off, not wanting to deal with this monster. How could you let them go? Look what they did to Sasuke. Sakura was trying to reason with Naruto. However, when Naruto stares at her, she made her realize that, yo, I'm the one who's in charge here. Who are you? As she calms down and, just resigns to sighing, thinking in her head like, it's better off not to piss him off. Now saying that there was no longer any need to stay in the forest of death, Naruto would then calmly grab the shoulder of Sakura as he would then suddenly, warp them all using his darkness and teleport them directly to where they need to be. Sakura would be, of course, shocked about this as she wanted to know, did Naruto do the body flicker or something? But Naruto gave her no answer as he just calmly walked into the building, with Sakura having multiple questions in her head but none of them being solved. Back in the location where Naruto and his team was, you will see both the team of Inoshika show as each one of them were shaking. he was gonna kill them. Thought, she was honestly shaken by what she saw. This is terrifying because Naruto was our classmate. Even though they never really talked, it's still kind of terrifying what someone from your class could legit be doing. At this, Choji was also shaken, while Shikamaru was, although he was afraid, he also had multiple questions. At this, he just wondered exactly how strong was Naruto, and even more, why was Naruto separated from his team? And especially if Naruto was able to be doing all this, exactly what did he need to do? There were so many things that confused Shikamaru about the whole situation, as he would then get up. I think it's about time we go. Although Shikamaru would say this though, inside his mind he was having something else. His mind on Naruto. He was acting kind of suspicious. I mean, he saw the technique that Naruto used, a black teleportation. And the fact that Naruto had this, couldn't he just be with his team much sooner? But he had a better question. How exactly did Naruto and his team separate? It made no sense, especially since practically what they saw was true. Naruto was way stronger than any of the other Genin, so what exactly could be holding him up? There were so many questions, but none of them answered. So Shikamaru decides that he was going to keep an eye on the Uzumaki for now. But until then, it was time for them to move. So we now do a time skip to when all the teams end up arriving. The same teams like in canon would still end up arriving with Sasuke getting up. However, he does not get the curse mark, mind you. Alright, as we now turn our attention to elsewhere, we'll see Orochimaru in disguise, of course, as he was currently right there, having a sort of satisfied smile on his face. I'm sorry, Orochimaru, but apparently Sasuke Uchiha had already left the Forest of Death right before I could. However, right before, of course, Kabuto could finish his explain the whole situation, Orochimaru would stop him. It's fine, Kabuto. In fact, the Uchiha has less matters right now. I finally have something much more, Orochimaru would say, as he has a smile on his face. He could just remembered what just happened a few moments in the Forest of Death. Flashback. What? Orochimaru would say as he looks at Naruto surprised. I would like you to share your studies and information with me. And in exchange, I'll give you the type of materials as well as jutsu that you require. And in exchange for that, you also will grant me my peace and freedom to do whatever I want with said research of yours, Naruto would say as he looks blankly at Orochimaru. At this, Orochimaru was confused until finally he ends up chuckling. I'm sorry, but how exactly will this benefit me? Exactly what could you possibly offer me? Orochimaru would ask. However, Naruto already was one step ahead. At this, Naruto tapping his foot on the ground would then suddenly summon out an Anbu as it would then appear. At this, Orochimaru, tenses. He prepares for an attack, but this is when he stops. At this, the Anbu would give Naruto a scroll to which Naruto would take it, until suddenly it would then fall directly into Naruto's shadow, surprising Orochimaru. Exactly, what is that Kekigenkai? It made no sense to Orochimaru. However, he would then stop himself as he would then see Naruto begin to unleash the scroll, until finally he adds a little bit of chakra to it. I can offer you this. At this, a poof would then be heard as Orochimaru would narrow his eyes until he opens his eyes shocked. It can't be, Orochimaru would say as he looks at it in surprise. How? He all the bodies of the Uchiha clan was disposed of. There was no little DNA of it left. So how could he have it? Naruto would be calmly holding a glass which holds 2 Sharingan eyes, as they are currently being, held captive as well as being preserved by liquid, of course. As Orochimaru would stare at it in shock, he would then turn to him. Boy, how are humans be stopped as Naruto would interrupt him. How I attain these are none of your concern. What should be, though, is if we're going to have an agreement or not. Naruto would stare at Orochimaru with blank eyes, as even if Orochimaru didn't agree, Naruto did plan on getting that research, and he did plan to find his peace, whether Orochimaru wanted to or not. At this, Orochimaru would stare at Naruto confused, as he then asked him, you do realize exactly who I am, right? All the things I've done, correct? At this, Naruto would look at him as he shrugs. I don't know everything about you, and personally I don't care. I do know most of the information about you. Like you, just like me, enjoy your own research, your own studies. And so I would like to make a compromise. The materials and information that you need in exchange for your research and studies, and also granting me my peace when or if you achieve whatever goal you have set in mind. So, do we have a deal? Naruto would say as he looks at Orochimaru. At this, Orochimaru would be holding the contact as he slowly begins to rise his chakra, as Naruto would begin to ooze out this unknowing energy of death, as Orochimaru can do nothing more but, actually bewildered by whatever Naruto is leaking. It's definitely not chakra, he would think as he looks at Naruto surprised, until eventually he ends up resigning. Fine, I agree to it, he would say. At this, he ends up holding out his hand, to which Naruto ends up completely ignoring it and walking off. Good, it's nice to know that we have an agreement. At this, Naruto would then vanish in a black mist, as Orochimaru can do nothing more but watch as the entire scenery just returns back to the normal Forest of Death. That boy. At this, Orochimaru was honestly extremely interested. And you know what? He would have go ahead and allow this agreement to hold on, but eventually one day he will find a way to experiment on whatever Naruto was or whatever he had. It was interesting to say the least, but for now, he can go ahead and accept this. However, this was something he would then sense the chakra of Anbu approaching, as well as Anko, so he decides to make his escape. Returning back to the present, we will see Orochimaru with a satisfied look on his face. The Uchiha's powers was something he was extremely excited about, plus the downfall of Konoha. However, he also had way more interesting things at hand. To think that someone like Naruto even exists, and he wonders exactly what is his power, what is its limits. He wanted to know all of it. However, until then, he will have to wait. As we now turn our attention back to the exams, eventually all the people who end up competing will still be lined up. As I'm just gonna say this, the fights will kick off exactly like they do in canon. Not much really changes here. As the fights will continue going forward, it will eventually end up being to the point where it's now Kiba versus Naruto. Alright, let's go ahead. We're going to take on the nerd of the class. Kiba would say to Akamaru as he jumps down. At this, Sakura and Sasuke says nothing to Naruto, as they already knew Kiba was about to get stomped beyond belief. At this, Ino, seeing of course Kiba was also happy, would also begin to fear for him. Shikamaru, should we allow this? You already saw what he could do. She would say as she looks at Shikamaru, nervously glancing back at Kiba as Naruto would calmly make his way down the steps. At this, Shikamaru can do nothing more as he says, exactly what power do we even have? They're not going to exactly believe us, he would say as he stares down at Naruto, ready to analyze everything. There were just so many things that did not make any sense about this guy, but they had to analyze it. And Shikamaru was not the only one. Kurenai was still going ahead and talking a bunch of smack, saying that Kiba was going to dominate Kakashi's boy. However, Kakashi said otherwise, though. Please, I'm sorry to say this, but Naruto, he's on a completely different level. Kakashi would say with a sense of pride, to which Naruto was thinking exactly like, why is this man like exactly so prideful of his skill? He was not the one who taught him. As Naruto eventually made his way down, everyone would begin to watch in bated breath as this is when suddenly the match would then begin. Alright, I'm gonna knock you down in one punch, Kiba would say with an arrogant tone. Naruto says nothing as he would then get into his taijutsu stance. Fine then, have it your way. At this, rushing on Naruto at top speeds, he would then swipe at Naruto with his claws. However, Naruto was not giving Kiba the satisfaction. He was not gonna show him any of his techniques, no, he was gonna get this done. Dodging the hit, Naruto would then suddenly punch Kiba in the stomach as Kiba will be blown back from the hit as he coughs up into the ground. What? He would say. At this, Kiba would then suddenly begin to lose, his lunch as he barfs himself all over the floor as everyone can do nothing more but watch in shock. Holy crap. But he just punched him. It couldn't be that hard. At this, everyone was confused. How exactly was Naruto's hit so strong that he made Kiba just, vomit up like that? Now, if it was something else, like, for example, getting hit by, the first of the inner gates, then yeah, that's understandable. But Naruto just threw, what seemingly be, a regular strong fist. It's nothing that special. However, what everyone didn't know was Naruto was trying out the abilities of his dark magic, allowing him to enhance his bodily strength. As Kiba wheezes in pain and tries to get up, this is when Naruto would then be right above him. Exactly what are you saying about trying to beat me in one punch? I would like to see you try. At this, Naruto would then punch Kiba in the face, sending him flying off the other end of the arena. As this one suddenly, Naruto would then suddenly, dash off to the direction he was, not teleporting, of course, not using the dark teleportation. He would just use his regular strength to outspeed where Kiba was thrown. As he would then go ahead and begin to go all around the arena, bouncing Kiba back and forth with each punch. At this, everyone would watch in shock. No way. Legit, his speed was comparable to Lee without his weights. That's how strong Naruto was being right now. As everyone could do nothing more but watch. After getting tossed around for enough, Kiba was eventually able to finally be able to move enough as he dodges a kick from Naruto that was about to literally, hit him from the back. Damn it. At this, Kiba would, roll over on the floor until finally he drops a pill down to, Akamaru. Akamaru, let's go. Kiba would say as he goes ahead and looks at Akamaru. Akamaru would nod and goes ahead and runs over to the pill. But this is when Naruto would then suddenly appear right in front of the dog as he casually just picks it up and then tosses it into the stand. The dog shouldn't be in a fight, Naruto would say. At this, seeing the dog, incoming for Kakashi ends up picking it up. As he looks at Naruto surprised, this is when Naruto would then grab the pill and literally destroy it in the palm of his hand as he then turns it into complete dust. At this, Kiba would look at Naruto surprised. At this, Naruto now thinking like he had enough of his research, would then disactivate the his enhancements and everything, as he then goes over to Kiba and then knocks him out with a single punch to the back of his neck. As with that being said, Kiba will be knocked out unconscious and Naruto will be declared the winner. So if you guys didn't know, this whole thing was nothing more but a testing experiment for this form that Naruto had created, as he wanted to find out exactly if this form would be good enough, it would be strong, what its effects, its drawbacks, and so far it was pretty good. Seeing this, of course the medical team would then rush over to Kiba, as Kiba, although the injuries didn't show, he had multiple bruises all over his body, as well as a couple of broken bones. So seeing this, the team would of course pick up Kiba as they end up, rushing him off. As the man, like they needed to heal this man. Like this was the beating, all right. As Naruto begins to calmly walk back into the stands. At this, everyone, winces at how just one side of the fight was. As this is when Kurenai would then suddenly begin to actually scold Naruto. You went too far, all right. After that few punches, he was already down. You didn't have to continue, she would say. At this, of course, Kakashi, looking at this, would then begin to actually scold Kurenai. Like, who was she to go ahead and start disciplining his student? It was a fight. However, right before Kakashi could, Naruto would be the one to speak up. And how exactly is it my fault? He was the one who wanted to continue fighting. After that first punch, he should have surrendered, but he didn't. Because of his own pride and his own ego. If you want to go ahead and start complaining to someone, complain to him. As Naruto would then walk off, though, this is when suddenly Kurenai as well as the rest of the Jonin would then pick up on Naruto as he begins to mutter this. At least he was a good test subject. Hearing these words, Kurenai was extremely upset as she, actually plans throwing a genjutsu at Naruto, but Kakashi would of course stop this. I was like, that's going too far. However, he would actually be kind of disappointed in Naruto about saying that, but it's Naruto, he doesn't give a damn. So after that, the rest of the fights will continue on all the same, as eventually, after everything was done, the 1 month training would then be announced. As with that being said, Naruto would then, begin to walk off, as literally he did not even talk to anyone, not Kakashi, no one. He just went out to do his own thing. So as we change scenes to Naruto's house where he went, he would be there as he calmly enters into his lab as he begins to working once again. At this, while he does so, this is when suddenly he would then be approached by a masked Anbu member. So Kabuto, did Orochimaru send you? At this, hearing this, Kabuto would actually take off his mask as he would actually show a shocked expression. I'm surprised. Most people are not able to exactly tell it's me. At this, Naruto shrugs it off as he then turns to Kabuto. At this, Kabuto, reaches into his cloak as he then pulls out a scroll as he would then, release what was inside, which was nothing more than a bunch of research information. At this, Orochimaru would actually send this to Naruto, and then pretty much inside this was just a bunch of things that Orochimaru had collected from his journeys, going through different villages and everything. It was nothing too important, but eventually this was nothing more than an early part of their agreement, and later on Naruto was going to give him the Sharingan and everything, so that was just the case. This was only going to be one part of the information. The next of it you will have to receive at a later date. Kabuto would say as he looks at Naruto. Reading the information, Naruto would nod as he then shoos Kabuto away, as Kabuto, laughs. At this, he goes ahead and walks off, however, he then turns to Naruto. By the way, I recommend that you start speaking with me with a little bit more respect. After all, you're nothing more than a genin. You are nothing compared to me. Kabuto would say these words with a bunch of arrogance as he looks at Naruto. As Naruto is calmly doing research, he would respond, "You're correct. While I'm a researcher who strives for his own peace, you're nothing more than a glorified assistant, a pawn for Orochimaru to use, and throw away when you realize that you're no longer of use to him." Now, as soon as Naruto said this is when suddenly darkness would then arise from Naruto's hand, as he would then calmly catch a chakra blade that was literally going to stab right through his neck. At this, we will see Kabuto, whose eyes were showing nothing more but pure anger. "You're wrong! You're wrong!" shouted Kabuto as he glares angrily at Naruto. At this, Naruto would calmly, continue looking to the research. I wonder how many people have said that and were in your place as well. At this, Kabuto would then get angry as he suddenly, backs up, getting some distance away from Naruto. As he decides that, maybe it was about time that he shows Naruto his place. After all, if Orochimaru really wanted to, he could dispose of Naruto and just take the research for himself. Yeah, that could actually end up working. As the Kabuto think this, if he just get rid of Naruto and take everything, then there would be no point of the agreement. After all, Naruto was nothing more than some type of tool for Orochimaru to gain his materials, to gain the Sharingan. So of course, if he just got rid of Naruto, then heck, they would just already have what they want, what they need. At this, as Kabuto prepares for this isn't suddenly Naruto would then suddenly erupt with dark energy. You're becoming quite annoying and troublesome. As Naruto would then turn around to Kabuto would see Naruto's hollowed eyes seemingly glowing a little bit, as he would be shown with a dark amount of energy that was swirling around him. Leave, or else. At this, Naruto was not playing. He was gonna end this man's life if he did not leave this second. As Kabuto was fearing this, he was trying to fight against his instincts. After all, his pride had just been damaged by Naruto insulting him, but the more and more as Naruto was actually beginning to actually fully turn to him, the more the pressure begins to open up. As literally, eventually it got so bad to the point where Kabuto was being literally shaking. How? And by the way, if you guys are wondering like how exactly is Kabuto shaking that bad, bro, this man is the same guy who went up against Tsunade, a Hokage, and literally took punches and everything, but didn't show any fear at all. So the fact that he's getting scared of Naruto, it's saying something. As he was feeling fear, Kabuto would eventually end up vanishing away, as Naruto would look at the direction where he went. At this, Naruto would then turn back to his research, as of course while doing this, he actually begins to, go through the research that Orochimaru had given him as sort of an early token for their agreement. As this is where we're now going to turn our attentions to Orochimaru. Hiruzen, sorry. Hiruzen would sigh as he looks tiredly in his office. Ugh, man, it's gotten even worse, Hiruzen would think. Hiruzen was, of course, talking to Naruto and his a way to, socialize with people. He thought that when Naruto, because Hiruzen was not slow, bro. He knew that Naruto didn't exactly have any friends. And he was thinking that, being on a team and, communicating with them, he would actually be able to gain some connection. However, each and every single time, it seems as if Naruto has no one, no friends, no one to really talk to. And although Naruto was a good and intellectual kid, Hiruzen honestly have a shaking suspicion, especially since like the events of Orochimaru. Which, by the way, they did find out about the fact because remember, Uncle went ahead and found out about it, and this sort of aroused suspicion of Orochimaru. And just remembering about his former student, Hiruzen can't help but begin to actually compare Orochimaru to Naruto. I won't allow another one of them go down that path, Hiruzen would say this solemnly. At this, he would then suddenly, he would actually end up feeling something off, as he would sense a presence. Turning around, Hiruzen would then see calmly entering his office through the window. He would then see none other than the famous pervert himself, Jiraiya, the Toad Sanin. Hey, Hiruzen, how are you? At this, Hiruzen seeing Jiraiya would then sigh, telling him to go to the door next time, to which Jiraiya ends up laughing. Well then, so, how exactly is he would say, getting straight to the point. At this, Hiruzen would look at Jiraiya as, now seeing the man here, this could be perfect. After all, Naruto needs more connections in this village. Who's better than Jiraiya himself? So with that being said, and of course hardening his heart, Hiruzen instructs Jiraiya to go ahead and actually bond with Naruto and train him for the next month. At this, hearing these words, Jiraiya will look at Hiruzen confused, until finally he ends up turning around and ends up walking off. Dumb old man. I already planned on doing it anyway. Hearing these words, Hiruzen would then get a smile on his face, as he was honestly glad that out of all his students, Jiraiya was the one who actually turned out to be quite okay, and actually quite loyal to the village. Plus, he made some pretty good research material. As after Jiraiya ends up leaving his office, Hiruzen would then turn around and looking at his village, the one that he sworn to protect. As he wonders in the back of his mind how exactly would an encounter between Jiraiya and Naruto would go. As we see him looking through the window with a far-off look. How exactly do you guys think the encounter between Naruto and Jiraiya would go? What do you guys want to happen? How do you guys think that the whole agreement between Naruto and Orochimaru is going to work out? And exactly what do you guys want Naruto to learn in the future of this following training month? Well, you guys are going to all have to find out in the next part. But it's your host, Seiji Samurai here. And I'm going to be ending this part of this what if. Yes, I am, guys. Hope y'all do enjoy. Hope y'all will come back for the next part. And honestly, don't really got much to say for you guys except for, enjoy your days, have fun. And besides all that, guys, it's your host. And he's heading off. See ya, peace, and have a lovely day. Bye.